All right, everybody, welcome to today's training. I'm so excited. We're going to have an amazing hour of training here. We're going to go very deep and really helping you leverage the power of reputation and PR together, which PR is an amazing, amazing leverage point. But I want to just give some shout outs to some new faces I haven't seen in a while. My goodness, I've been spending too much time in the mastermind. I see Stacy there. Good to see you, Scott. Good to see you, Troy. Good to see you, Tony. Good to see you, Tom. So Wolfgang in Australia, always a party from Botswana. Nicolette, good to see you. Richard Jones, good to see you, buddy. Been a while, huh? Steve Hurd. Sean Frank, good to see you, Sam. Calling from John from New York. Nice, Nicole. Nice, Dave. Good to see you. Dale Wagner, always in the house. Always a party with Dale. Good to see you, Barry. Good to see you, Brian. Montana. Is it cold in Montana or what? Which one's colder? I got Fraser, London, or Montana. Which one's colder? What's the degree in London? But you got to say Fahrenheit because I don't know Celsius. Montana's -40? All right, we got London beat probably, yeah. That's awesome. Good to see you, Mike McGrail. It's so cold. Well, my heart goes out to you because I'm in beautiful Florida, Palm Beach, where most of you will end up, depending on what age you are, eventually one day. You end up in South Carolina, Arizona, Texas, or Florida. So I'll be here when you get here, okay? When you all retire from local marketing and you're making huge residual income, you can all come down here and we'll all hang out and do one big fun party. Hawaii is good too. I like that idea, Martin. So yeah, I think it is a little chilly today. It's like 68 degrees, 70 degrees, somewhere around there. So all right, good. So listen, I want to get a little feedback from you guys first before we begin here. First of all, what's the biggest struggle that you're dealing with right now? So tell me if we could remove those obstacles from you over the next hour, saying, David, I'm really struggling with this. What is that? So what specifically is that? Tony says clients, of course, but more specifically the clients. Come on. Getting new customers. Ranking in Google, okay? Well, we can talk about ranking in Google today, right? Staying focused on a daily basis. Tom, you need to be inside a mastermind, buddy. There's no ifs, ands about it. If you don't have the focus that you need, you always got to be in a mastermind. So we have a mastermind coming up in about 2 months. We're reopening up, so mark the clock for that. But just get in the mastermind. Closing clients, Marcus says. Okay, so closing clients is all about two things: value and trust. Trust and value. So if you're struggling with closing clients right now, just look at how good is my offer? How good is the value? We're going to talk about how to build value today in an offer that is almost absolutely irresistible. And getting reliable VAs. Tony, that's a completely different thought process, but the whole thing about VAs is if you actually have to outsource something, that's going to take a lot of work and time. But if you only need to do like 1 or 2 hours a month to make a lot of money, you don't really want to outsource that, right? So, you know, there's things you outsource, right? You outsource your lawn care because you don't want to do that. But there's other things you don't outsource, like, you know, reading bedtime stories to your kids. So in our business, we have things that we outsource that are mundane things that we don't want to do, but there's other things that we need to take special care of, especially when we make a lot of money. So we'll talk about that today as well. So struggling with upsells and moving monthly amounts to services. Okay, so upsells. Thomas, if you've got reputation going, we're going to teach you an amazing upsell strategy to a brand new program and a brand new angle on reputation that I think is going to crush it for you. Closing clients in the U.S. sitting in Switzerland. Henrik, boy, that's an open-ended. I can't really dial in that, so maybe if you give me a little bit specific on that. Finally got getting more effective with CRM, Steve. I can't help with that here, but you know, everybody needs to have a CRM, right? So if you're not focused, if you're not organized, that may be you don't have a really good CRM right now. So very important that you do that. I hate cold calling and won't do it, all right? Well, you don't have to cold call. If you can show them results through an email, right? Just send them an email and say, here are the results I can get for you. Your phone's going to ring in. I was just on a call yesterday. We did 100 emails a day, gentlemen, and he said by the third day, he had too much business, people calling him. And on Wednesday, he started on Monday, 100, 100, and 100. So 300 emails out, on Wednesday, he closed 4 clients. 4 clients in one day. So what are those strategies about? It's about over-delivering in value, having a lot of value. So, all right, so you guys ready to rock here? Is that cool? We're going to cover some really good ground. So let me click record here, and we'll get going. Oh, by the way, real quick, just give me some feedback so I know who's in the crowd. Put 1 in the chat box if you are leading or in your portfolio is the offer of PR or doing press releases. 2, if no, you know, we're really not doing that right now. So I want everybody feedback. So 1 or 2. So okay, lots of 2s. I want to say probably close to 80% 2s. Well, those of you that are doing 2s, you're going to find some amazing insights. So turn everything off. Let's get focused, and let me click record. All right, everybody, welcome to today's training. I'm really excited to be bringing you someone that I've known for several years now. We've had dinners together. Our families know each other very well, and he is just an amazing business person. But more importantly, he is someone I respect in the industry. He is someone that has brought so many great online marketers together, and he invests his time. So he's just not an expert in reputation and also PR online, but he also knows the industry like none other. I would say, you know, he's in the top tier of all internet marketers, and that is Chris Munch. So hey, Chris, you there?
I am here. Thank you, David, for that introduction. I appreciate that.
You're so welcome. And so for me, my expertise, obviously most of you know, that is reputation marketing. And there's not a better marriage than taking reputation marketing, which is marketing your reputation with reviews online, to actually marketing your reputation with press and getting the message out there. Because when it comes to ranking, when it comes to PR, when it comes to building authority, when it comes to being a marketplace leader, they go hand in hand so well. And so for the next hour, I want to have Chris and his partner really go deep and help you understand the power of press releases. More importantly, how what I teach in getting trust triggers and also, you know, getting monitoring reviews and managing reviews and marking those reviews. What you want to always do is, some of you have clients that are $300, $400, $500 a month. How many of you are in that range? You've got clients at $300, $400, $500 and would like to get to $1,000 to $1,500. Put 1 in the chat box. Yeah, we all do, right? I mean, so many of us would love to double that. Well, if you consider adding PR to that reputation piece, and the great thing about PR is it's an amazing opportunity to get new sets of eyeballs and to actually have an ROI strategy. So they spend money, and they're going to be able to send traffic and get traffic. So, Chris, man, I'm so excited that you're here. I've been waiting for this for a very long time. And so I want everybody to put away everything they have, their phones, distractions. More importantly, I want to congratulate every single person here, because you could be doing something else, right? You could be going somewhere else. You could be focused on something else. But you're here investing in your business, and this is the perfect opportunity, especially for 2016, to be focused solely on reputation, and PR has a huge part of it. So welcome, Chris. I want to leave it to you and your partner, kind of, which I think is brilliant, because Jay is one of Chris's not just customers but also partners, and you're going to hear firsthand how someone built an incredible business, lives a lifestyle of traveling, but literally focuses on reputation and creates a residual income. So thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you, David. All right, the pressure's on. I love your introduction, man. It's great to be here. And you know, I know that you've got such a brilliant audience as well. That you have such great materials. We actually use some of the products and software that you have as well. And you know, I know the stuff that you've got, and your audience is super smart. And like you said, reputation is a hugely growing industry. We stepped into it last year, and the interesting thing which we've done, which is very, very different, is we've just focused on press releases, and we've used press releases to drive that reputation. Now, the first time I did a press release was back in 2007, and things have changed very, very much, and what many people think they know about press releases is actually really, really outdated. A lot of the stuff you read online is really more about what you might have done in 2007, 2008. There's a lot of misinformation, and it's really given us a huge advantage just to be able to come in and use press releases for reputation management and for a host of other things as well. And Jay is here with me. Jay, are you there? Hello, Jay.
I am here. I am here. How you doing?
You in Austin right now?
I am indeed. Yeah, I'm in Austin. It's a beautiful place, I have to say. And yeah, reputation's got us here, right?
Well,
PR
yeah.
and reputation.
A year ago, would you have thought you? Cause, so Jay is from London, and he's lived in London all his life. And would you have thought that you'd be in Austin right now, hanging out for a few months?
Absolutely not. I mean, I might be here, but it would be like, right, I need to go back in about a week after a lovely holiday, but that's about it. And now I don't need to. I don't need to look at going back. I can relax and chill out here and really, really enjoy it. So absolutely.
Yeah, and so I gave Jay a challenge about a year ago, I think January last year, and his job was to go out and sell press releases to local businesses, but not just sell them a press release. You could do that, and you could, you could sell it for $200, $500, or $1,000 and make a tidy profit. But I gave him something a little bit more challenging, where he had to sell it and have close the client on a recurring basis with no tripwire offers or anything else. And looking back, I gave him a really, really hard thing to do. But he pulled it off, and he pulled in some clients, and they're paying him.
Hey, Chris. Chris,
Yeah,
I hate to interrupt you. Your mic is super low, and
it
a lot
is.
of people are saying, hey, we really want to hear what he has to say. So if there's a way you could talk louder, if you can't turn your mic up, that'd be great.
I've turned it up. Is that better?
There we go. There we go. Much better. Thank you.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so I gave Jay a challenge a year ago, and he had to sell press releases on a recurring basis, no tripwire offer, no introductory offers or anything like that. He just had to get them to sign the dotted line for £500 a month, so approximately $700 per month. And what he would be doing for them was simply one or two press releases per month. And he closed clients doing that. So that's really, really amazing. That's what he's going to walk through today. And so I've been doing this a very, very long time. I sometimes forget all the little nitty-gritty which I've taken for granted. So Jay is the best guy to teach this, because he's only recently started doing it and been successful doing it, and he can really bring it down to a very, very simple level. So Jay, do you want to take it away?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chris, for that introduction. Thank you, David, for your introduction to Chris's introduction. And yeah, I think we're ready to. I think we're ready to take this away. The energy's there, and I think we're ready to fly with this. So I just want to say a quick thank you to David for letting us jump on today. It's a real privilege, to be able to serve everybody in this way. So that's fantastic to do. And look, my name's Jay. I'm from PressCable. Today I want to be showing you our Skyranker method, okay, and how it can be getting you more traffic from 30-minute campaigns, and how you or anyone can replicate this to get some serious traffic, okay? That's what I'll be going through today. So what I want to confirm from everybody right now is, number one, that you can see my screen clearly, and number two, you can hear my voice. So if you can see my screen clearly and you can hear my voice, if you can just put a quick yes into the chat box for me, I'm sure you'd agree. It's very important for me to deliver everything that David and Chris have built up. So wow, this is amazing. I've just got an absolute waterfall of yeses coming in. So many people on the call today. Let's have a look. We've got John, Martin, Dana, Dan, Glenn. Big hello to all of you. I mean, that's just a few. I simply cannot go through every single one. I'm sorry if I missed you out there. Okay, so look, the question is, why are you even here? Why are you here? Well, you're here because obviously you might not, you may not have achieved the amount of results or the kind of, traffic or the kind of reputation that you're looking to, and you're looking for a way to get there, really, or just to push you over that line. So today, if you stay engaged, you learn, you apply yourself, that will no longer be a problem. Your success is very important to me. We've got huge amounts of respect for what David is doing in the industry, okay? So therefore, I mean, look, our destiny is intertwined as far as I'm concerned. And having helped thousands of people now, okay, make money online, what we've seen is that you get the best results when you're not only paying attention, but you're fully engaged, and you're asking yourself, how can I apply this successfully to my business? I mean, this is a big analogy we use all the time, is the fact that, have you ever been a passenger in a car? You have, right? Of course you have. We all have. And you've been taken someplace several times, and then you've got no idea how to get there when you have to jump into the driver's seat. That's why I'll be asking you questions today, because I want to tap into that subconscious, okay? I want to tap into it and help you retain as much important information as we possibly can today. And a quick note before I continue is that I simply don't have the time to go through everything we've got lined up today. So we've actually got notes that are going to be available right at the end of today's training. So you definitely want to be getting your hands on those. If you stay until the end of today's training, you'll be given those notes, and there's some awesome tidbits in there and some golden nuggets that you'll definitely want to be taking away that I don't have time to go through today. All right, let's jump straight through and get this started. So, and again, look, I've got huge amounts of respect for David. I know lots of you know your stuff here. So super quickly, you understand that traffic is everything, right? Traffic is everything, and that's why you can see a currency exchange board here, because if you can generate traffic, then you can buy and sell it, and if you buy and sell it, it thereby makes it a currency. So on the right hand side, again, we've all seen one of these. It's a classic funnel. You've got website visitors, which is the form of traffic we want. Convert those into leads, and we convert those into customers. So we understand completely, if we don't have traffic, we don't really have an online business or a venture. And again, this is just further accentuating what I'm talking about there, because we want to get to this point here, which is the tipping point. Okay, we don't want to be pushing around this boulder, lots of hard work and slow momentum. We've all been there. Okay, so today is about making it easier, and how, if you hit another hill, the momentum will take you there. And it's all about hitting that tipping point. So what to expect in today's webinar? Well, look, the fact is, we thought, and I know David's a massive believer in this, and he talks about this all the time, the proof is in the pudding. Okay, you can talk until the cows come home, but the proof is in the pudding. So today, if you think about it, the pudding tastes good if it's cooked with the right ingredients, but using the right recipe. And that's what today is all about. It's about giving you that unique recipe using the right ingredients, but all importantly, in the right way. So I'll be doing that with live on-screen demos today. I'll be sharing with you the most important thing. Okay, when it comes to reputation management, when it comes to using keywords, getting rankings, bringing all of that together, if you take that away with you today, then you'll be looking at multiplying your traffic, getting your reputation clients, all of that by 10 at the very least. And the fact that it's simple. Okay, you don't even need your own website. That's how simple this stuff is. And finally, how to reduce the cost of traffic today by over 90%. But super quickly, David's already talked about Chris. Chris is a legend in his own space in the IM world. But about Chris and myself, super quickly, look, we travel the world. We live the laptop lifestyle now, which is a great privilege to do. And that's why I'm in Austin, Texas, enjoying the sunshine when it's pretty cold in London. So I'm happy to be able to do that. Look, all we really need is a Wi-Fi connection. If you've got that, we're good to go. Why? Because we managed to build successful location-independent businesses, and we did that by by achieving one thing, and that's mastering the art of traffic generation. So why can we help you? Okay, so super quickly, you're probably thinking, okay, Jay, that sounds great. Chris sounds great too, but why can you help us? So in 2008, we actually hit 1 million visits per month with 5 blogs that were created. In 2011, we teamed up with a super powerful software developer who would innovate with viral traffic together with us. As a business, we sold over 100,000 units of product online as affiliates and vendors in multiple niches. And a year ago, we discovered something groundbreaking, all right? Something that would change a lot of things for us. And I'm going to be talking about that today. And also how the fact that you can learn the hard way. You don't have to, learn the hard way. We learned the hard way. So we've taken the proverbial beating for you, if you like, okay? The blood, the sweat, the tears, all of that stuff. We've been through it, and we've come out with strategies, blueprints, and ways to be successful, so you don't have to. It's as simple as that, right? A big hint for this is the fact that I don't believe in link building. I don't do any link building at all, and that's just a hint of what's to come today. Okay, so super quickly then, and again, I know all of you know your stuff. David's always doing a fantastic job. So what would you say is the most important aspect in your business? Okay, what is more important? Would you say it's traffic, or would you say it's conversions? If you want to put that into the chat box real quick. So I'll give you a second to do that now. Let's have a look what we got. Wow, okay, there's answers just flashing by me. It's crazy how many people we've got on the call today. Let's have a look. So we've got, we've got John saying conversions, okay, Edward saying conversions, you can always increase traffic, interesting. Paul saying conversions, Todd's saying one will not work without the other, interesting. Joy saying conversions as well. Well, the fact is, everybody's correct, okay? Because it's almost a trick question, isn't it? Because you've got nothing to convert without traffic, and likewise, traffic is wasted if you don't know how to convert it. So today is about showing you how to kill both birds with a single stone. That single stone, of course, being our method. So this is just a quick blueprint of everything I'm going to talk about today, okay? I'm just going to simplify it on one page, it's almost like a high-level overview. So if you get this skeleton, you're well on your way for putting meat on the bone as you progress. So 3 steps for profitable traffic and high conversions and how anyone can profit from this. So number 1, you create content in 5 minutes using a rapid content tool where you just fill out, it's like filling out a form online, super easy. Number 2, you distribute content to authority news sites using our premium distribution platform where you just hit submit. And finally, you get buyer traffic within 24 to 40 hours from as little as 5 minutes work, okay? You just use our simple buyer intent trick, which I'll talk about. If you don't know how that works, I'll talk about a little later. And then you rinse and repeat, and literally that's it. This is all there is to it, okay? I've super given you a simplified version there, but if you get this, then you're well on your way for putting that meat on the bone as you progress. So you're probably thinking, okay, Jay, that all sounds wonderful, sounds great, but where do you get the traffic from, right? And the fact is you get it from 2 distinct sources. So Google is the undisputed Lord, King, Emperor, whatever you want to call it, of online search engines. And we all understand if you don't know how to get traffic from Google, then you're in trouble. It's as simple as that. Secondly, from news sites. Now, news sites are hugely important for everything I'm going to discuss today. It underpins the whole mission. But if you bring these 2 together, it's almost like having 2 superheroes, okay, working individually, initially coming together and having this unbelievable team that does the work for you while you take your kids on vacation, take your dog for a walk, whatever it might be, okay, and all from as little as 30 minutes work. Okay, so another very important question, okay, and it should be, because this is what it's all about, right? If we know what the biggest ranking factor is in Google, then we're well on our way. So the question I've got for you is, what would you say is the biggest ranking factor when it comes to Google? If you want to put that into the chat box for me real quick, I'll give you a second to do that now. And the answer to your question, Reggie, is absolutely. And you're going to see how this does, works magic in the local space. So if you want to put your answer in the chat box there, I'll give you a second to do that. Let's have a look. Okay, again, this is just crazy. This is just crazy. What have we got here? We've got Michael saying authority links, interesting. Ron saying relevant content. Yep, relevancy. Stacy saying page rank. Yes. Frank saying focus content. Martin saying authority. And Eloise is saying clarity. So there's lots and lots more answers. Again, I apologize if I don't get to read yours out today. They're literally flashing by me. I'm trying to take a snapshot with my eyes here. But anyway, everybody is correct. Okay, everybody is correct, but at the same time, everybody's wrong. And you're probably thinking, how does that work? Well, quite simply, everything you've said there, traffic, relevancy, authority, backlinks, everything, okay, comes together, okay, and is underpinned by one word, and that word is what you see on the screen right here. What is every of these? What are they? They are a successful, powerful authority brand, aren't they? Each and every one of these is a brand, and therefore you can see why you were right, because relevancy, authority, backlinks, everything comes down to one thing, and that's brand. It brings it all together. So although you don't need to be making notes, of course, that we provided at the end of the webinar, as I said, but you do want to keep that word in your mind. Okay, you want to keep it at the forefront of your mind as we go through this, because brand brings everything I'm going to talk about today together. So you're probably thinking, why is brand the single biggest ranking factor when it comes to Google? Well, the truth is, they say sometimes the answer is underneath your, under your nose. Well, here it was right in front of the screen, because it's the word smack bang in the middle of the page here. It's the word search. And why? Simply because you cannot search for a fake brand online. Okay? You cannot do it. You understand that, I understand that. You simply cannot search for a fake brand online, thereby making searchability the reason why brand is the biggest ranking factor when it comes to Google. So let's keep that in mind, okay, the word brand. Okay, so something we realized, now we've been doing this for a long time as a business, and I've been intensely involved in this, over the last year. And what I would say is, after doing this for such a long time and in a lot of detail, humans by their very nature overcomplicate things. So it really, I'm telling you now, Google you can simplify into this one thing, okay? And that's thinking of Google like a kid. Bear with me, you're probably thinking I'm a bit crazy. You'll see why in just a second, okay? Because Google has some simple basic needs. And when you know what these are, traffic and profits are a simple equation. So I want you to, right, okay, let's get this really simplified now. has anybody here been to college? Sorry, high school. Has anybody here been to high school? I apologize, I'm from the UK. We call them secondary schools. I know that sounds extremely posh. But has anybody here been to high school? You have, right? Of course you have. We all have. And when we were in high school, you go to the canteen for lunch, you've got your tray, you turn around and you say, okay, where am I going to take a seat now? And naturally, as you walk through, you'll notice the cool table, won't you? You'll see the cool table, and invariably and inevitably, that cool table will have faces and names that you recognize, but it will always have, have faces and names that you don't recognize. Okay? And if you don't recognize those names, because they're on the cool table, do you still think those people are cool? Those kids are cool? Of course you do, right? Because they're sitting on the cool table, and they become cool by association. And I'm telling you now, okay, you can overcomplicate this, turn it into a formula and diagrams or whatever, or you can think of it the way I'm telling you, because that's all there is to it. If you can find a way to associate with these cool kids, and who are the cool kids that I'm discussing? Who are they? Who am I talking about in the real world? I'm talking about the likes of CNN, ABC, Fox News, Wikipedia. These are the cool kids that Google looks at and says, if you can associate with these kids and you hang with them and you chill with them, okay, and you hang out with them, you are cool, you've got the authority, and you become cool by association. So let's take a very quick look at an example. Now I talked about, oh, sorry, I do apologize. Here we go. I talked about these numbers earlier, didn't I? In terms of what our 5 blogs managed to achieve back in 2008. Well, look, this is just in the last, coming into May the 21st, 2015, so last year, we had that snapshot, okay? So November 23rd to May the 21st, we had 250,000 visits to a site that we had left, 3 sites that we had left untouched for over 3 years. Okay, so they haven't been touched, and they're bringing in recurring revenue without us touching anything. Of course, if we tweaked it, we'd probably be able to boost that a little bit, but that's pretty incredible, right? Would you want recurring income? Get 250,000 visits to your site, your network, your blog, whatever it might be, by doing nothing. Would you want that? Of course you would, right? We all would. I mean, it's a silly question. So again, if I go up here, this is how we achieved it. Okay, this is how we made it happen, because the fact of the matter is, first of all, you'll notice that I'm quite the artist. But no, seriously, after years, what we've come to realize is if you're an online venture or you're an online business, you're essentially a publisher. Okay, so you need to be flooding the market with as much content, images, and videos, text, and everything else as you possibly can. Again, I know we all understand this, and we understand that each of these becomes our traffic assets. So there's no tricks, there's no magic, there's no voodoo stuff. This is how we achieved it. Put out a piece of content, and you'll get traffic to your offer, your site, or anywhere else you want to send it. Okay, and if you imagine there's only about 9 here, imagine if we had 100 pieces of content. Imagine if we had 200 pieces of content out there working for us in the background. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so one other thing that I wanted to address is, by the way, you know, we always hear all the time, Chris and I are like, oh, Chris, Jay, you know, the more content means more work, right? And we're like, normally, yes, but I'm actually going to show you today how we can get content created and out there in 15 to 30-minute seeding campaigns, okay? Hundreds and hundreds of them, and we'll talk about that a little later. But anyway, I wanted to share a problem that I first had when I started out. Chris has had, David's had, no doubt, and everybody, or most of you will have at least had some experience in this. And this is a Google sandbox, okay? Now, most people starting out, when they post content on this green line, sorry, not green line, geez, I must be colorblind. It's an orange line right here. So on this orange line, if you post content, this is you posting content on your own website, okay? Easy, simple. And the blue line is when you post content on authority websites. So I believe this, the Google sandbox is right here, this oval shape here. And I believe it could be 3 months to a year before you could break through and begin seeing some rankings right here. So right here, before you start seeing break through the threshold and getting these rankings. Okay, now it can be up to 2 years before you break through and begin to see some rankings. I mean, that's pretty painful, right? And by the way, is there anybody out there who's experienced no love from Google? Anybody? Have you had no love from Google? If you want to put that into the chat box, let's just see who's felt exactly what most of us has felt, right? It's not a cool place to be at all, in fact, and it can really debilitate you and freeze your business, your ambitions, and a whole lot more. So anybody, is there no love from Google? I can see a few people coming in. Yeah, exactly. Sure had no love from Google. And I've got Frank here. Frank, I hope you don't mind me using you here. as an example, and you can see Frank at the bottom right there. Frank saying, no love, not even lust. All right, awesome. So clearly you understand what I'm saying. We've been there, and it's not a cool place. However, okay, if you don't want to bother with the Google sound, but get stuck in that, and you want traffic now, you want results now, you want money now, you want to send this to a CPA offer, an affiliate offer, build up the reputation side of a business when you're pushing to local clients, then you want to be this blue line, okay? And that's exactly what today's all about, because you want to be publishing on authority websites, and not just any authority websites where you get traffic right away. And I'll be talking about that very, very soon in terms of how that works, okay? So super quickly, just a very quick recap. Again, I know we all understand this. So more traffic equals more money, okay? And we do this by leveraging authority websites. Okay, I'm not being patronizing, I promise. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page and we understand what's going on before I continue. Okay, so let me just jump straight back. By the way, is this simple? Is everybody finding this simple? This is making sense to everybody before I jump straight back into the presentation here? Okay, yep. Okay, fantastic. Just give me a quick yes in the chat box. That's super cool. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. I just want to make sure that we're all and we're understanding what's going on here. So let's move on super quick to this side. This is where magic happens. Okay, these are the powerful authority news sites that I talked about. And by the way, if you're not getting this just yet, and for most people it seems to be making sense, it's simple. If you're not getting this, then rest assured, by the time we're done with today's training, you'll understand exactly how this works. All right, so rest assured that will be the case, and that's going out to Thomas out there. So as I said, these are the sites that Google likes, Google thinks are cool and awesome, Google wants to associate with, and this is where you can get content ranked. Okay, you can rank for keywords, you can get huge amounts of traffic for CPA offers, local offers, affiliate offers, your own websites, wherever you want to send it. Okay. And now it's actually case study time. But before I jump into the case studies right now, just a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one is that front page rankings are typical when you follow the training. Okay, completely typical. Second, I'm going to show you the platform that we use, and I'll be inviting you to use it today at over 90% off the retail price. Either way, you'll be able to apply a lot of what you learn, whether you use this platform or any other. And finally, I'm going to show you how we did it. Okay, I'm going to show you how we did it, and I'm also going to ask to see if you spotted the simple trick that we use. It's called stacking. Okay, so if you pay close attention as I go through the case studies to the stacking trick, you'll definitely be able to multiply your traffic by 10 regardless of how you choose to pursue it. Okay, so let's jump out of this real quick and jump into the case studies right here. Okay, so let's just open these up, and as I get these open, can I just confirm who out there, and again, this is all about tailoring training to everybody, right? We need to tailor training and make sure that you're getting the most out there. So who out there is looking to make money from local businesses or has made money from local businesses? And I suspect it's going to be quite a few of you. There's no point in me showing you an example if you don't want to see it, right? You only see this particular case study. So let's have a look in the chat box real quick. Okay, let's have a look. And also, if you're not looking to make money from local businesses, then rest assured we've got plenty of case studies today, and we're going through those and flying through, making sure that you're, it's tailored to your needs and what you need this for. So, local business, would you like to see a case study? I'll show you one right now, if that's what you're interested in. Okay, awesome. So we've got lots and lots of yeses in the chat box. Okay, awesome. So this particular case study is for a company called Scooby-Doo dog waste removal. They're based in New York. Okay, so I've typed in Long Island dog waste removal, and you can see that even though I'm obviously in Austin, right? I'm in sort of central to south Texas, and I am still being targeted by adverts from the Long Island area, right? Of course. I mean, that's pretty intense. I mean, that's an interesting. It might be one advert. I'll show you a couple more in a sec. So you can see, people say, and they always ask, they're like, dog waste removal, really, Jay? Is that a profitable niche? And I'd say absolutely. The first thing you'll notice is that we're dominating the local listings right there, and we've got the top listing. Well, we're dominating the normal listings as well as the local. But if I scroll down here, see that we've got another listing. Where are we? So we've got two there. We've got another one there. So that's 5 on the page. dominating. The interesting thing is if you look at the competition here, you've got Poop and Scoop LI, you've got Minesweepers. That's a very that's a good one for a dog waste company. Poopy Hunter, you've got Poop Away Online, and you've got a Dog's Business. So all of these are competitors that we're pushing on to the second page of Google. But what's super interesting is that not only are we dominating, but the page practically belongs to us. Now, the person that did this campaign for Scooby-Doo Dog Waste Removal New York was given $5,000 as a retainer. It was like, we love these results. Here's $5,000. Please keep giving us them. We want to keep seeing these results, and here's your retainer. So that was pretty cool, right? And you can see that, it's an example of the power of what we're doing and dealing with here. So another example.
That was actually done about a year and a half ago now. So that campaign was originally done a year and a half ago. And before the campaign, they weren't in the #1 spot on the front page. They were around, I think, number 4. And after the campaign, they ended up in the #1 spot. And we did another campaign, and now they've got like double listings in Google Local, and they've got another 2 spots on the front page. So it's just absolute domination, and it's something that's been, 2 campaigns over 1.5 years has got these results, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. That's a very good point. Even here, I mean, look, you're a different keyword, Long Island Pooper Scooper Service. Again, nowhere to be seen, as Chris mentioned before. Look at this. 1, bam, bam, bam. Top 3 results right there, and we've got a couple more. Push on to the second page again. And this one, again, you've got Dog Waste Removal Service Long Island dominating here and dominating here again. Okay, you can see that quite clearly. And at least Long Island Dog Waste Service, again, dominating. But check this out. Can you read that? I'm highlighting it for every single person here to read yourself. You can see it with your own eyes. You've got over 4 million results right there. And again, we're dominating all of these keywords. Okay, so that's super, super cool to see. And you can see the power of that.
And in the New York area as well, if you're in New York and you bid on AdWords, so rank for those keywords, the cost is between $2 and $6 for keywords like dog waste removal, dog waste service. It's $2 to $6 per click on Google AdWords. So this is a niche with some serious competition.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for that, Chris. Let's push forward and show you another example right here, another case study. So we've got one right here. So this is paid traffic tactics course. Now this is interesting because this course is actually our own course. Okay, I've actually got, I apologize, my computer is still stuck with Google.com, so let's jump into .com right there. Okay, and also, by the way, it's a good opportunity actually. If your results are slightly higher or lower than you see them on my page, that's perfectly normal. As we know, Google is dependent on, well, Google. So, locality, and a few other factors might affect the results slightly, but nothing major. If you put NCR at the end, no country redirect, then you'll be able to get an accurate listing. So you can do what I'm doing just here. Okay, so this particular course is actually a course that we own. It's our internal course, okay, and it's about media buying. Now, what's interesting about this particular course is, I mean, is there anybody out there looking to do or make money from affiliate offers? If you're looking to make money from affiliate, if you want to put that into the chat box real quick, for those that wanted a local example, I've showed you one. Now, this is for affiliate, which is hugely lucrative, as we all know. Okay, so if you want to see this, just making sure I'm tailoring today's training, as I've mentioned. So do you want to see an affiliate example? If you do, I'm more than happy to show you one. If you want to put that into the chat box, I've got Mark saying, yeah, baby. Pretty enthusiastic there, Mark. I love seeing that. That's awesome. Okay, all right. So, and again, we've got plenty more case studies. If you don't want to see an affiliate example, I've showed you a local, and there's a couple more to come. So for those who want to see this, like I said, this is our own course. If you were to run this campaign, you would do exactly the same thing, and the process is the same as you've seen me do right now. And you're looking at $250 per sale, okay? And again, we're right at the top of this particular page, dominating for results that are almost up to 1 million, as you can see right there. But what's interesting is, as Chris mentioned before, in the previous example, even this one, look at this. This has been out there since June the 30th, 2014. Okay? I mean, that's just incredible. We're approaching 2 years when we get to the summer of this year. All right? So that's pretty incredible, as you can see right there. So what I wanted to ask is, look, the word course here is actually very special. And again, I understand many of you will know this already, but I just want to put out there, I want to ask you, what would you say the word course carries in terms of buyer intent, okay? So if someone types in the word course into Google, how likely are they to purchase something? What's their buyer intent like? So 0 being obviously no buyer intent, very, very low, and 10 being super, super high. They're ready to buy, their card is in their hand. You want to give me a number between 0 and 10 into the chat box real quickly? Wow. Again, just waterfall of answers coming in. So thank you to Ron is saying 8. Interesting. Dave's gone for an 8 as well. Paul is saying 9.5. Okay, you've gone nice and high. Interesting. Joy's saying 7. John saying 8. We've got Joseph saying 9. So many of you have gone pretty high, and I can see why. Okay, and again, this is testament to the work that David is doing with all of you, because you're completely right. You know, it would be high. I wouldn't push as high as an 8 or a 9. I'd probably give the word course 6 for buyer intent. Okay, I'd give it a 6. Why? Because if somebody types the word course into Google, they're obviously looking to buy something, aren't they? It's just a matter of presenting our offer to our potential clients before our competitors, and that's exactly what we've managed to do right here. Okay, so if the conversions here, you can imagine, are going to be very, very high. So what I want to do is just shoot through now and show you just how many sort of examples, sorry, not examples, just how many pieces of content rather there's going to be that we're ranked for using a single piece of content. All right, so check this out. I'm going to be using the stacking trick that we discussed earlier. So just check out how many different keywords we're ranking for using one single piece of content. So if I try media buying traffic tactics course, okay, and by the way, as I go through this, if you figure this out, if you get it and it's making sense to you and you know what the stacking trick is, then feel free to jump into the chat box and type that in for me. All right, but we're going to go through and see. So this is another keyword we've ranked for. You've got 500,000 results right there, okay. And I've already seen a couple of people jumping in. This is incredible. Straight away, they're like, boom, 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 this is the answer. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to go through. But what am I doing? I'm going to give you an example or a quick clue, rather, before I jump through. So you can see media buying course at the top. Well, let's read the title right here. What does it say? It says media buying course reveals paid traffic tactics and PPC strategies, right? So what else can we try? Let's change this up completely. Okay, let's take off, well, in fact, before I do that, let's take traffic out. Okay, again, ranked for that 1.3 million results right there. But what am I doing? What am I doing with these keywords? Media buying tactics course. Let's change this completely, right? Let's try PPC. Let's try strategies course. Very competitive. See if we rank for that particular one, and we do. Right on the page right there, first page of Google. What's interesting is the amount of competition coming in. Look at this. And as we always talk about in our training. And again, you'll understand this, the more sort of adverts you've got coming in, this is indicative of a huge or large amounts of competition, okay, invariably. So we've got PPC strategies course. Again, that's quite competitive. Let's try PPC tactics. Let's see if we rank for this one. But have you figured out what I'm doing here? I'm going to have a look in the chat box real quickly. And again, right at the top of the page, for that one, let's try one last one, okay, paid traffic tactics. I've missed it, but it doesn't matter. Let's look it up. Okay, and again, dominating. So let's jump into the chat box and have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've got Wolfgang. Straight away, Wolfgang got involved. Well done, and said long tail keywords. Exactly. Gerard saying long tail research, and we've got Mark saying targeting long tail keywords. Exactly. That's precisely what we're doing. But how does it work? And the example I gave was when you read the title here, it says media buying course reveals paid traffic tactics and PPC strategies. All we've done, okay, is swapping around these keywords, isn't it? And again, I know a lot of you are getting this. We've got 2 million results, by the way, on this page, which in my book is competition. But the fact is, all we're doing is chopping and changing these keywords in the title because the title is keyword intensive. Okay, so the title right here is packed full of the keywords that we want to be ranking for, and then all we've been doing is chopping and changing them, haven't we? As we progress.
This is showing you an example with an affiliate offer, but this applies just as much to local niches as well, 100%. So everything Jay's sharing with you right now, you can use in all different local niches, and we use it all the time. It's really, really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was for the local example, we did the same thing, right? I just showed you a few different keywords we were ranking for, and you do the same thing regardless of what you're trying to target, and it works particularly well in local businesses as well. So let me just show you another example of what we're doing here and how these keywords come together and how the stacking trick works. So I'm going to try PPC CPM video super quickly. Now this is, again, targeting the same course, okay? But the difference is obviously we're using the word video right now, and it's a separate piece of content targeting the same course. So again, just so we're on the same page in terms of buyer intent and how to get this cranked up, what would you say the word video carries in terms of buyer intent from 0 to 10? Again, 0 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. You want to put a number into the chat box for me real quick? That would be awesome. Okay, so we've got numbers coming in. Again, Paul is saying 4, Tim's gone for a 5, Mark's gone for a 2, Eloise, David, both gone for 7s. Okay, interesting. So you've all gone a little lower this time, and again, this just shows that you know your stuff, which is fantastic. Now, the word video, I would say, carries at least, I'd say probably a 4, I'd give it, okay, a 3 or a 4. Why? Because if somebody types the word video into Google, they're not really looking to buy anything, right? So the buyer intent is lower because video is one of the most easily and readily available pieces of content in the web right now. And obviously all they might be looking for is a video to explain the PPC, CPM jargon. They just want to know what that means. And obviously we're right at the top of the page again right here. But the interesting thing is we've targeted the higher in terms of buyer intent, so the conversions is what we're going to get with the word course. But when it comes to video, we're getting huge amounts of search volume, aren't we? Because the search volume will be higher. So we'll get more traffic coming in. And if you convert a small percentage of that, we're still making sales. So you can see, using this method, you can cast your net very, very wide and be making money from conversions and from huge amounts of search volume. So you're being very clever in how you approach this. And you can see how we're doing that right there. So if I jump back into the presentation, I wanted to share a couple of things with you just to break this up super quick. So now look, to expand your take-home profits. Okay, now this is very, very important when it comes to any business. If you look at any successful business, they are founded, these principles will definitely feature. So number one, if you want to expand your take-home profits, out of the 3 things that you need, number one is you need a traffic source and repeatable system that you can back away from. Okay, then you need quick decisions and to commit to a plan. We're all online entrepreneurs here. We understand the value of quick decisions and committing to plans, right? We appreciate that. That's what we do. Okay, so if you've got that in your, in your utility belt, you're good to go. And finally, you need a compelling offer. Now, a compelling offer is probably the most important thing here. If you've got something the market doesn't want, then you're in trouble, right? And again, we will understand this principle. So we want to be testing that out without spending too much resource or making too much of an investment, just to see what the market wants and then putting that out there. Okay, very, very important for what we're discussing today. All right, so let's jump straight back. I want to show you probably one more example right there, or one more case study, and show you the power of what we're doing here. Now, this one's particularly interesting because we've got video production discount. Okay. Now, this one's particularly interesting because look at this. Look at the competition right now. You've got 36 million results. But what's interesting about this particular one is if you were to do this as an affiliate, again, just works just as well for local businesses, and I'll be showing you a couple more examples a little later. But if you look here, you've got corporate video production discount. I'm not even going to ask you the word discount, okay? You've answered enough questions about buyer intent right now. The word discount carries huge amounts of buyer intent, okay? I would say easily you're looking at around a solid 9 for buyer intent. Why? Because the fact is if someone types discount into Google, they're looking to buy something, right? And that's why it's important to, you can use this method to really target higher, in terms of buyer intent keywords, and rank at the top of the page. So if somebody's typing the word discount to Google and they're looking for a discount, and you've got 85% on your piece of content right at the top right here, then you're good to go, right? Because you're presenting your offer to your potential clients before your competitors. So that's just an example of what you can achieve. And that huge amount of buyer intent is obviously going to get you those conversions. Okay, so let's jump straight back into the presentation right here, because this slide is particularly important. Now, this is the benefits of PressCable news releases. Okay, all the news releases, the seeding campaigns I've just shown you right now, these are the benefits right here. So the first thing is branding. Branding is the most powerful way to rank in Google. We've got full training on how to tap into the second thing, which is traffic trends using PR and Google News. Now, Chris's record is, and he's obviously proud of this, is actually 50,000 visitors in 48 hours to a local Japanese restaurant in the US. Okay, so that's the power of tapping into so word ranking method. Again, it's in the members area right there for growing traffic. And finally, how to reach the media. Because if you've got the right news, then PressCable is actually designed to help you get real media coverage by reaching journalists. Either way, traffic is up for grabs. Okay, and that's super, super important for us to remember. Now, what I wanted to do is actually ask you, do you want me to show you some more case studies, or would you like me to just jump in and show you how this is done? We've actually got we're going to be following up. So you want to be watching out for an email, because we've got a case study session that we'll be sending out to you very, very shortly. So you want to be seeing that. In terms of the email, for when that will be. And I'll be going into many, many more case studies so you can see those, how they work for local businesses, affiliates, whatever else you might be looking to do. So if you want me to show you how to do this, just give me a quick show me into the chat box right now and I'll jump in. Wow, I've already got so many people jumping in. This is incredible. Okay, so the people have spoken. I think it's time to jump in and actually show you how this is done, because you've already seen the power of it. It's time to show you what we're working with right here. Okay, so if I jump in here, what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to go to write PR, not from scratch. I'm going to go to write PR from a template. Okay, so before I jump into this, by the way, can I just confirm who out there has done a press release before? If you've done a press release before, if you want to put a 1 into the chat box for me. If you've never done a press release before, if you can give me a quick 2 into the chat box now, that would be fantastic. Let's have a look. Okay, again, 1s and 2s and 2s and 1s coming in, flying past. Okay, so the interesting thing is, if you've done a press release before, okay, then that's great, because you're going to be familiar with a lot of what I'm about to show you. If you've never done a press release before, even better, okay, even better, because we've made this so simple to do that it's just like filling out a form online. Have you ever filled out a form online? Of course you have, right? We all have. I mean, you've got Amazon accounts, email accounts. The fact is, this is probably the simplest form you're going to fill out in terms of online that you've ever done before. I'm going to show you how that's the case. So I'm actually going to run through and fill out this form for you, and you're going to see just how quickly you can be pushing through and getting this done. So the first thing is, I'm going to choose my template. So you can go in and choose the template you want for your particular press release. For us, obviously, it's going to be a new product, because I'm going to show you for the sake of this training. I'm going to go to generic A, all right? And then, here we go. Just watch how fast we get through this. So we've got product type, and you can see on the right-hand side, this is the most important thing here, because the software writes everything for you, right? It's like finish the sentence, what is your product, and examples. I mean, you've got so much help here that it just speeds the whole thing along. So we've got ranking, software is obviously what we've got. Our target audience, I would say, is marketers. Okay, their product is available. Today is the 19th of January in Austin, so let's do the 20th of January 2016. Okay, product name is PressCable. Okay, business name, let's say SkyRanker, easy. Product URL, www.presscable.com. Okay, here we go. Business URL, www.skyranker.com. That's cool. Next, easy. Just watch how easy this interface is. It's just incredible how we're getting this. So, getting content listed on hundreds of authority news sites. Okay, easy. Why was this included? This is included in order to reduce time spent. And why is that good for the customer? Because it makes it possible to scale. Okay, easy. Number 2, I would say resulting in multiple front page rankings for low to mid competition keywords. Okay, there we go. Nice and easy. Why was this feature included? So we'd say included to reduce time spent on campaigns. Again, focused on time there. Why is this good for the customer? Because it allows them to invest time in other areas of their business. Easy. Well, let's just do business. Got to be careful of making sure. Obviously, I'm flying through this. When you do this, obviously, you want to spend a bit more time. We'll talk about that in a second. So we've got, last but not least, boosting client reputation. Okay. Obviously can't spell today. I do apologize. Still a little bit jet lagged, I suppose. So boosting client reputation. Okay, with big authority news sites. Okay, nice and easy. And last but not least, why was this feature included? Because the hard work is done for you. Easy. Last but not least, why is that good for the consumer? Because you build authority and trust fast. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now next. All right, here we go. So person providing quote is obviously myself, Mr. J. Cruz. Here we go. Okay, the person's position, I would say Chief Marketing Officer. Cool. Quote about the product, I would say a no-brainer for highly targeted overnight traffic. How many products? Just one. Okay. And why are you excited about product? I would say, simply put, a game changer. Okay, there we go. All done. Next, show me my press release. Let's check this out and see what we've got going here. Okay, so that's it. That's your bona fide press release. Now imagine how many of these you could be doing in an hour. Okay, now obviously I did this in 5 minutes. You want to be spending a bit more time on this, making sure that you go through this, you dot your I's and you cross your T's. But if you spend even 25 to 30 minutes, okay, which is what you owe it to your business. If you've got a marketing strategy that works as well as this, why not? You know, spend that extra time making sure that you're covering all the bases. But even 25 to 30 minutes, that's an hour a day. You've got 2 press releases. Okay, you do that all week, you've got 14 press releases in 1 week if you spent an hour on this a day. I mean, it's just incredible, right? What you can be achieving here. Because the fact of the matter is, I showed you the power of a single press release and what you could be doing. Okay, so it's important to understand that you could be pumping these out as part of your marketing strategy. In a month you'd have so many press releases out there. But why do they work? Now, I discussed obviously the front page rankings with you, but you also get the citations. Okay, you get the citations because check this out. Right at the bottom here, you've got name, email, phone number, company name, and company address. So if you copy these directly from Google, okay, you got these, name, email, phone number, company name, and address. Now, if you put those details in just as they appear in Google for a local business, you understand the power of citations. You're going to have hundreds and hundreds of them on a, even with. So you do 1 press release, you get 250 plus. Okay, you do 2, you're into your 500. Let's say you do 5 in a week. That's less than 1 a day, right? 5 in a week, you've got thousands of citations coming back and working for you, boosting the organic local listing for your client. Okay, in just a week. I mean, when I first started this, one of our clients, it took us 3 months to boost what they were doing and get them up there in the local listings, and they were nowhere to be seen. And this is the power of the citations, and also, of course, the authority backlinks right here. So, and I'm going to talk about that super quickly right here. So, what you could do, just as an example, so for more information, again, I'm speeding through this, so there's going to be errors of grammar and all sorts of stuff in the press release. But when you do it, you want to be taking a bit more time, okay? I'm just doing this for you. But whatever makes you money, this is your backlinks right here, okay? So whatever makes you money.com, you could be putting this out, copy and paste it wherever you like on this press release. Now, as soon as you submit it, you've got hundreds and hundreds of authority backlinks from news sites okay, that Google Remember thinks are cool, coming back to your client's website, your website, or wherever else you want to send it. Then you've got the citations working for you as well. I mean, for local businesses, this is just it'll explode it. Okay, we'll turn it into just this crazy, crazy marketing machine. It's unbelievable. And I'll show you an example right at the end when we're just before the Q&A. If we've got some time, I'll show you an example of one of the clients that we did this for and the explosion we achieved. So the question I've got, and by the way, yes, absolutely, all training is available in the members area. Where to put your link, how to put your link, you know, what to do with the headline, all that sort of stuff. Which leads me on to the next question, just to see who has been paying attention. All right, because the question I've got for you is, what do we do with this headline? Let's see who's paying attention to the stacking trick, right? Do I keep this headline the same, or do I change it? That's my question right now. Here we go. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of these answers coming in. Again, there's so many of them. I'll see if I can spot them. But again, this is testament to what David's doing, the work that he's doing out there. I always find it fascinating because everybody seems to be ahead of the game, and it's great to have an audience that know what they're talking about. Because almost everybody is saying spin it, change it, and we've got even Eloise and a few others coming in saying keyword intensive, make it keyword intensive, put some keywords in there. And that's exactly what we're going to do for you right now, okay? Because you're absolutely right. Because making it keyword intensive is the key ingredient that brings all of this together. So what could we do here super quickly? So we could say something like, if it lets me type, here we go. So reputation, management, and overnight ranking software, okay, with 90% discount. There you go, done. So we've got reputation management and overnight ranking software with 90% discount. We've got the buyer intent keyword in there, okay? So if somebody types in reputation management software, you'll get ranked. If somebody types in reputation management software discount, you'll get ranked, okay? If somebody types in, you know, reputation overnight software, for instance, you'll get ranked. If somebody types in ranking software discount, you see what I mean? All you do is chop and change all of this, and you'll be well on your way, right? It's as simple as that, because that's what the stacking trick was all about, and I appreciate the fact that many of you understand how that works. Okay, awesome. So let's jump through. You've seen the power of that, and you see how simple it was. What I want to do real quick, okay, because I want to make sure I'm doing my job, but other than that, I want to know what you thought, because we've got two definitions. We've got easy, again, little to no prior experience needed. It's fast, it's hard to make mistakes, it's repeatable, you can give to someone else to do, and it makes it, you know, it's simple to do. Or would you say it was hard? So hard meaning it requires prior experience and training, it takes time, mistakes are common, it's difficult, and it's hard to give to someone else to do. Okay, so would you say what I've just shown you right now was easy, or would you say it was hard? If you want to put that into the chat box for me real quick, I'll give you a second to do that right now. Okay, I'm going to share some of these answers with you. It's important for every, you know, sometimes you're on live call, you don't really know what anybody else is saying, is anybody even there, that kind of thing, right? And we've got hundreds of people on the call today, so it's fantastic to share some answers. I hope you don't mind me sharing these answers, by the way. So Chris, Gerald, Joy, Richard, thank you very much, Thomas and Ron and Dana and Stephen. I hope you don't mind me sharing these answers. It's important for everybody to know what's going on today. Okay, so I know that I'm doing my job. That's fine. By the way, full training is available in the members area. It will show you exactly how to lay these out, take you by the hand, and show you how this stuff works. People are asking, will this work in Australia? This will work in any English-speaking country, all right? Whether it be UK, Australia, the US, of course, you know, New Zealand, even business countries like where they speak English as a business language, like Hong Kong and Malaysia. We've seen that it works very, very well as well. This is just a quick slide for you to see how you can make announcements to get traffic. Okay, have a quick look at these. I'll leave it up on the screen so you've got a couple of examples. You might get some inspiration from this. Okay, so you can see the answers. Sorry, you can see the, excuse me, something in my throat. Yeah, you can see some of the ways in which you could be putting out announcements to get traffic. There's so many different examples you could be using, and you can see them right here. Okay, so back to this a little. What I want to talk about is this, because PR now is more powerful than ever. Google has actually come out itself, okay, and said that it appreciates and is, you know, a complete support of press releases. Because look, we're a PR software company, we're a press release company. We track this stuff very, very carefully, okay. And having tracked and crunched the numbers, what we found is that Google still loves press releases, okay. It's come out itself and made announcements about how PR is actually now more powerful than ever, especially when it comes to boosting the reputation of clients, and also the rankings and the citations and all sorts of good stuff, which I'll go through if you don't know how it works in just a second. So super quickly, I've already talked about products and services. Let's talk about how to profit from local clients, okay? So step one, you submit an article targeting local key search words and terms. You show these results to 5 potential clients who would want to rank for those keywords. Then you can throw in a redirect tool and you can control where the traffic goes. And then you can rent the rankings, okay? You can rent the rankings. And Chris talked about that earlier, how we're closing clients. I mean, I closed a client very recently before coming over to the States for £500 per month, which equates to what, $700 maybe? Okay, $700. I mean, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So although it says 500 here, we'd recommend anywhere between, you know, whatever you can sell it for. If you can provide the value like David always talks about, then there's no reason why you can't push that up. And training on these methods and everything else I've talked about is available in the SkyRanker members area. So why is PressCable? Look, there's something we can announce, okay, with a lot of pride, is that PressCable is actually the fastest growing PR company in the world right now, the fastest growing press release company in the world, okay? Because in our first year, we've actually grown faster than any other PR company and gained thousands of customers. Now, we understand that a big battle lies ahead in order to tackle the PR giants by continuing to disrupt the industry of better value and bigger results. But we're committed to that. We're committed to better value and we're committed to bigger results, okay? So that's what we'll continue to do. I mean, there's companies out there charging businesses thousands for doing press releases. I mean, you know, you can see the value, or I'll ask you, can you see the value of getting cost-effective results from using press releases for quality premium distribution where you get better value and bigger results? Because that's what it all comes down to. And I'll talk a bit more about that a little later. Because what I want to ask about is a gap in the market. I want to understand how you guys feel about this, because I want to know how much you would say it would normally cost a local business to get a press release published, like I've shown you today, with guaranteed media republication. So what would you say that would be? If you want to put that into the chat box for me real quick, that would be awesome. I'll give you a second to do that now. Okay, let's have a look at some of these answers. Again, this is the marketplace that we share, so it's important for us to know exactly what's going on and how this stuff works. So let's have a look. Here we go. Okay, so there's so many answers coming in. Honestly, I have to say to David again, this is incredible, because sometimes it's so hard to read some of these answers. They're just flying past. When I'm about to read it, it's gone. Okay, so we've got Carl saying $500. Okay, Todd saying anywhere up to 100. Depending on your competitor, that's fine. We've got Richard saying $850 to $1,000, and then we've got people coming in saying, you know, $299 per month. We've got Al saying $700. I said we've got what else we've got? We've got $1,400 coming from Michelle. So clearly, a lot of you are seeing that there's a huge amount that these things would be, or local businesses would be expected to pay. What's interesting though is this, because PR Web, okay, now PR Web is probably the biggest, or one of the biggest distributors of online press releases, and you read what you can read what it says at the top. It says to match our distribution, they would charge you $369 for a single press release, okay? For one press release, $369. On top of that, you'd have to add the cost of writing these things, which would, you know, you get what you pay for, so you're looking at $250 at least, okay? I mean, it says 50 to 250. Of course, if you want the best and you want to get the press release written in the right way and sort of structured well, you're looking at paying a bit more money. You add those two together, because a local business would typically be charged $500 to $2,000. Okay, $500 to $2,000. Now, can you see how this is going to eat away your margin? It's just crazy, right? And often you're not even making a profit. In fact, you're making a loss because of the huge amounts that you're being charged here. Now, you know what? This is a good opportunity. What I'm going to do is actually jump and show you. Now, we don't do this, but we've got a great relationship with David, so I'm happy to jump in and show you. Just so you know, we haven't plucked the number out of thin air or anything like this. I'm going to show you just how much PR Web charges. So directly from their website. Okay, so let's have a look. Here we go. You can see it right here. If I scroll down, you've got $369 for what they would call their premium distribution. Okay, premium distribution. I mean, that's huge. That's a huge amount of money, right? For one single press release. What's interesting is they do not have the software that will do the press release for you, and we've also got an announcement on that in terms of, I'll talk about that in just a second, something very, very special that I'll be announcing just towards the end of the webinar. But anyway, the point is that we've got a piece of software that will do the whole thing for you, as I've shown you, and PR Web does not. Okay, and they still charge you $369, and you'd have to get it written for you as well. Now, what's interesting is if I go to our website, and again, I'm not really supposed to be doing this, I'm going to do it anyway, just to show you what you're dealing with. We would charge you, normally, this is our normal price, $159 for a single press release. And of course, you've got the access to the rapid PR writing software, and you've also got an option to get the PR written for you. Okay, and that's the special announcement, which is imminent, but I'll be making it very, very soon because of our relationship with David. But it's important for you to know what's happening in the marketplace, what's going on out there, okay? Because we're part of this marketplace. We need to know what's going down out there, how things are working, and what sort of pricing that we're looking at. So that's super important to mention. So what we've covered so far, very, very quick, man, I've covered how to get front page rankings in 24 to 48 hours. Okay, 24 to 48 hours, boom, you're ranked. I've talked about how you can do this by submitting a simple 300-word article, and the SkyRanker Rapid Content Tool will, of course, write most of this for you. You just fill in the simple form and follow the template. Then you profit from affiliate programs, CPA offers, local clients, your own products, and many, many more. And this results in buyer traffic and at least 200 index backlinks to your site or anywhere that you want to send the traffic to. So the secret sauce that makes this work is the PressCable SkyRanker Premium Distribution. And again, full training and tools and everything else that you might need to get this up and running is available in the SkyRanker members area. Now, before I continue, can I just for suitability purposes, okay, I want to know who here understands the power of news releases, as I've shown you today, and who's got a product, an offer, or a potential client that they can send this traffic to. So I want you to just jump in and type into the chat box real quick where you will send this traffic, okay, just for suitability purposes to see if this is something that it will work for. All right, so if you want to jump in and put that into the chat box for me real quick, that would be awesome. And I will give you a second to do that now. So it will be interesting to see what you're working on, all the wonderful things you're doing out there, and whether this is definitely something that will work for. So I'll give you a second to type that in now. Okay, let's have a look. I'm just letting it catch up because there's so many coming in. I don't want to miss any. Let's see if I can read a few of these out. If I can enlarge my chat box here, which I definitely need to do. Okay, so we've got Michael saying, what's Michael saying? Michael's saying my own client needs this. Fantastic. Okay, own client, local business, completely. It will work perfectly for us, as I've demonstrated today. Stacey saying carpet cleaning Memphis. Yes, absolutely. It will work perfectly well for that. We've got we've got Tim saying my own website. Yep, absolutely. I've already talked about how it's going to work for that. Ron saying all day to my local agency site, to my lead gen site, affiliate offers. Exactly. You're getting how this works, Ron, and that's wonderful to see. You can do this to anything or send traffic to anything. If you put it this way, if you've got a website, okay, or you've got a local client that's got a website of their own and you want to send traffic, this is how you can do it. And as we talked about earlier, you've got the reputation side of things, as David and Chris were talking about, and then you add the press release or the PR aspect to it. You're just blowing up that offer, right, in terms of value to your client, because you're getting them their reputation, but then you're exposing that reputation to the world. Okay? I mean, that's pretty incredible, right? How it can really, really work in tandem. So what else have we got? We've got Richard saying capture page. Yes, this will work perfectly well for that. We've got somebody else coming saying art dealer. You know what? For something like an art dealer, this will work amazingly well because it's a after content after content. Okay, so you can see the power of that there. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. Let's push on then, because I did want to mention something, because my job today has been to show you how powerful and easy press releases are with the right distribution. Okay, and my purpose was to show you how easy it can be, but more importantly, how powerful it can be. Okay, how profitable it can be. And I think probably taking it a step further, how simple this can really be, because I'm just making sure I've served that purpose and I've done my job. All right, myself, Chris, David, we're all here because we're super, super passionate about helping people, and you know David, so you already know that, okay? And I'm just making sure that we've managed to open your eyes to what you can achieve easily because of that passion. So the fact is, if you've taken, or you can take something life-changing away that will affect your business or help it in any way, I know that I've done that. And we always mention this in any live training, so that's very, very important to mention right now. Okay, so now that that's out there, good vibes and all that kind of stuff, would you like to have access to this platform at less than 1/10 of the price of PR Web for better distribution? I've already, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we've actually got better distribution than PR Web now. We've actually overtaken them very, very recently, which means that we're actually pushing out to more authority news sites, CNN, Fox News, all the big brands, the cool kids I talked about. We know more cool kids now than PR Web, okay? And we hang out with more cool kids than PR Web, if you want to look at it that way. Okay, so here we go. Because the doors have actually been closed, but they're about to be reopened, okay? And this is where things get exciting, because the special offer you're about to see right now is because we've only recently launched, all right? By recently, we're very new, like I said, just last year, okay? And this strictly limited offer is to raise buzz, because the price is going to go up by nearly 500% very, very soon. If normal PressCable customers were to see this offer right now, there would literally be a riot, okay? That's not an overstatement in any way, because PR Web charges a lot of money for this very, very reason. The fact is, news sites are very, very expensive, and the only reason we can offer this is because we're new, we want to create that buzz, and we cannot offer it at this price you're about to see normally, because we would literally be out of business. It's just impossible to do, as I've mentioned. So we're fresh, we're new, we want to spread the word, we want to demonstrate value and create as much buzz as we possibly can. So we're literally giving this to you today at cost. Why? Because of the amazing deal that David has managed to get for you guys, okay? He's leveraged our relationship and our huge respect we've got for him, and so you can thank him. But once I give you the link, you need to get in now for the best deal. The deal is incredible. It's at over 90% of the retail price that PR Web charges at $369 for. Are you ready to check this out? Are you ready for this? Okay, here we go. Because if you want to get access to this 90+% discount today, okay, it's the offer, I'm afraid, is only limited to the first 100 people that are willing to do the following 3 things. Okay, number 1, you must commit to do your first campaign within 30 days. If you do that, you'll be successful. Secondly, you must commit and follow our training. If you do that, you will be successful. And lastly, you must email in and let us know how you felt about your first campaign. Okay, huge amounts of respect for David, and therefore our success is your success is most certainly our success. If you're committed, okay, and you're ready to push forward, take action, and really, get the reputation for your clients super loaded and exploding with impact and value, and you're ready for that, then here we go. Here's your link. There it is right now on the page, so you can see it's on the screen in front of you. Yes, it's for.me/David, and it's also in the chat box, okay? If you don't see it right, in fact, let me have a look. I don't think we've managed to put it in there. I'll do that for you right now. So you can see it on the screen, okay? And you can also see it now if I can put it in. Just give me a second. Okay. So you should have the link in the chat box right now. It's also in front of you in the screen. It's yesits4.me/David. You want to jump onto that. Like I said, the price is going to go up by nearly 500% very, very soon. Okay? So you can see it. It should be in the chat box now. Can I confirm that everybody can see that? The link is in the chat box? Yep. It's been put in there. Everybody should be able to see that. You want to click on that and you will be redirected into the offer page right here, so you can see that. Okay, David, are you there? Can you see the chat box? I seem to have, sorry, the link in the chat box there. Let's have a look.
Hey Jay, could I see you made Evelyn an organizer. Evelyn, could you make me an organizer, please? So yeah, the team has arrived because I see there's lots of questions coming in. This is a super busy webinar, so we brought in a couple of people from our support team to answer questions because there's so many coming in that Jay's just overwhelmed trying to keep up here. Let me go put the link in the chat. Jay, you formatted that slightly wrong.
Oh, did I? I apologize.
I'll get that in there working. The link will work, but
I was trying to talk and paste at the same time, so which is never really a good idea. But you've got that right there. So are we good to go, Chris?
Yep.
Okay, so we've got that there. Now, I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. Now, again, the team's arrived. If you've got any questions, we're going to be doing an official Q&A soon, but feel free to answer or to ask any questions that you've got as I talk through this last bit now, and talk through some cool stuff that I wanted to share with you, okay, in terms of what we're doing here. I'll talk about what you're going to get in terms of what you've got instant access to in just a second, but more importantly, I wanted to share our... Okay, sorry, I think somebody muted me by accident there. But anyway, so you can hear me, hopefully you can hear me now. If you can hear me, give me a quick one in the chat box to make sure. I think somebody accidentally muted me there. Which is quite funny if you think about it, but yeah, whoever that was, that's not cool. Anyway, yeah, okay, we're good. Okay, so you can hear me, that's fine. I wanted to talk about a guarantee because things are about to get a little bit crazy right now, okay? Because the offer you see is already pretty nuts, and it's pretty, we've managed to negotiate that with David, and you can see that it's very, in terms of the value there, it's untouchable. Okay, you will not see this price for this value anywhere out there. You will not be able to find it. Okay, it's as simple as that. So what I want to talk about is the guarantee. So here we go. I've got number one. If you commit today, you invest. Okay, then I guarantee the following. Number one, that Google will pick up your content within 24 hours and rank it for multiple low to mid competition keywords. And this includes powerful in these placements in regular Google results. And you can see an example of that right there. If you were to post one of these and you publish them, you'll get an in the news placement to begin with. And you can see what that looks like right there. And when we do the case study session, you'll be able to see that in real time. Secondly, I guarantee, okay, publication. So guaranteed publication will be released on at least 240 brand name media sites operating under the ABC, NBC brands, and many, many more. And you can see your authority sites that Google loves just here, okay, because you get one of these reports that is completely rebrandable, and I'll be showing you that in just a second in terms of in real time and what that looks like, okay? So you've got that there, but last but not least is this. Now this is really crazy because if for any reason you don't get results, if you invest today and you don't get results, we will actually rewrite the release for you and we'll keep doing so until you get the results that you were expecting for free. Okay? That's how sure we are that you're going to get results from this the first time if you follow the training. So I just want to repeat that because this is pretty crazy if you consider what we're doing here. I'll repeat that for you one more time. It's in front of you. If for any reason you don't get results, okay, if you invest, then we will write the release for you and we'll keep doing so, or our in-house world-class copywriters will keep doing so until you get the results that you were expecting absolutely for free. That's how confident we are in what we're doing because we know if you follow the training, then you will get results, okay? So we don't need to exercise this often, but we've managed to negotiate this with David, and so this is pretty unprecedented in terms of what we're offering right here. So yes, it's for.me/David. All right, so once you get the link, you'll be redirected. In fact, let's do this. Let me jump through, and just so everyone can see what the checkout page looks like right here. So let's jump in here. Okay. I'm going to talk about the pricing. There might be some questions around the pricing, and I'll be going into that in just a second. And let me just show you what's going on here, because okay, so we've got a little perspective. Now, what I want to share with you is the fact that you can see 3 packages right here. Okay, so you can see the Ultimate 495 for 20 releases, or you can go for the 295 for 10 releases right here. So just to put this into perspective for you, okay, just to give you an idea of the value that we've got on offer here, is if I go back into the chat box here, back into the presentation here for you super quickly, you'll see that if you went via PR Web, okay, you'll be charged $7,380 for 20 releases, with each one being $369. If you add to that the cost of writing, which is obviously $250 per press release, you're looking at $5,000 for writing services. You add that together and you've got a grand total, a huge $12,380. Okay, if you compare that to the 495, you can see the price difference, right? It's crazy, isn't it? Because today, what I'm saying is for 20 releases, I'm not saying, you know, we're gonna charge you $12,000. I'm not saying we're gonna charge you $10,000, not even $5,000, right? Not even one. I mean, you're looking at $495 for 20 news releases, and you've seen the power of each individual news release, what you can be achieving with it, and you could be, as I talked about earlier, you could be closing a client at around $500 UK pounds per month, which is $700. And if you do that, you've made your money and some, right? One press release, you bring in $700. The rest of the 19 press releases for you, you're looking at it's all bonus, right? It's all pure profit. There's no cost involved there at all. So you can see the power of what we're doing. I mean, the value is just incredible, but I wanted to make sure that I bring in a little perspective here. Okay, so that's important to do. Okay, so we've got so many questions coming in. I'll be jumping onto the Q&A in just a second. We've got a lot of questions around pricing as well. So if I can talk about that super quickly, pricing explained. So as I mentioned earlier, okay, in fact, I'm going to go in and show you again. So you got you got $495, and you'll get 20 releases. Okay, 295 for 10 and 95 for 3. So the questions we normally get asked around this is this a one-time offer? And it is. It absolutely is. So the cost of package you see is one-time only. Okay, so that means you pay $495, you'll get 20 releases, and that's that. If you want to pay, if you want some more press releases after this, you'll be looking at paying the original price per press release. Okay, you'll be looking at paying exactly the same price as I showed you, which is $159 per press release on top. Okay, however, you can lock this price in for life. So there is a subscription option where all you need to do, super easy, you jump into the Skyranker members area once you've purchased today. Okay, so regardless of whatever package you go for, whether you go for the 495 or the 295, or even the 95, you'll have an option to go into the Skyranker members area where you can subscribe for the 295 or the 95. Okay, so you have an option to do that. So there is an option to lock that price in. Otherwise, okay, I mean, there's no obligation, of course. You pay the 495 or you pay the 295, and you get your, you get your press releases every, or you get them up front, and that's it. Once you burn through them, once you use them, you'll have to pay the original price for more. Now, we've got the fact that the creation software and training is actually yours for life. Okay, so the creation software and the training is yours for life. And obviously the credits is what you'd have to purchase on top of that. And finally, credits do not expire ever. Okay, so if you were to purchase one of these packages, and let's say you only use 10 press releases in the first month, and you've subscribed, as part of the subscription, then you're looking at those 5 releases will definitely be overlapping into the second month, and they stack up for you. Okay, and if you don't use them, it doesn't matter, because as I said, they do not expire ever. So you're looking at using those press releases whenever you need them. But of course, as part of an effective marketing strategy, you need to be pushing out as many press releases as you can, and this is important in terms of really getting the maximum impact from what we're doing here. You know, getting all those citations coming in, getting those backlinks, and really using the syndication and the distribution we have, which is, of course, as I've talked about, it's bigger and better than PR webs because we've overtaken them on that front very, very recently. Okay, so I know that we've got many more questions coming in. I'm just going to jump straight back into the presentation here and open it up. So there's so many, and I want to thank the team. I know they've been working diligently answering these questions in the chat box for us. So let's jump through now into the chat box and have a look at what we've got. David, are you there? David, Chris, is anybody there? I can hear somebody in the background.
Yeah, actually, thank you so much. I've been wanting to jump on for a while, but I didn't want to interrupt any of the flow. What an amazing offer. And if you could go back, and let me slow things down because you covered a lot of ground for everybody. Could you go back to the actual offer page? So, so I want to be very clear on this. This is each one of these offers is a one-time fee, right? There is no residual whatsoever unless you're at a level in your business that you need a residual. And what they're doing is they're giving you an amazing opportunity to lock that in so that when you run out of press release submissions, you're locked into a really good price. So, but right now, that is not on the table for anybody that's hearing my voice right now. What's on the table is just a one-time offer. So you look at your business and say, look, over the next year, could I use 20 press releases? So let's do some math here. Who am I math people? So if you take 20 divided by 495, what would that be? 20 divided by 495, what number is that? All right, 25. So we're talking about PR web charging $369, and you get it for $25. What percentage off would that be? What percentage off is that? Put that in the chat box real quick, just so we get that. All right. So that's a huge savings, isn't it? It's a 92%, over 90% off of what everybody else. So you have a huge opportunity in the marketplace that no one really else has because you can do press releases at 90% of the cost based on their systems and their processes. So now if you didn't want that, you could go to the $295 and you get 10. And I want to ask you a question, Jay. You said these credits never run out. So if they need them next December, they've still got them, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. They do not expire ever. So you've got
think over a full year that you might use one press release a month, you could get your foot in the door with that strategy. You get that call that someone calls up and says, look, I'd like to maybe cancel or rework because I'm thinking some other opportunities. You can add a press release for them. What about the contracts that you currently have out now, right now? Right, that you can say, look, if we sign today by Friday, I will write a press release for you that's only $369. Take them to PR Web and show them that. Does that make sense? Put one in the chat box if you see the huge value of 10 press releases over the next year that you think that you could be able to use. And then at the very minimum, which comes out to what? So 10 divided by 295 is what? It goes up to a little bit more money for the 10, right? And then you've got the 95, which is just a little bit less, and if you could scroll down there. For those that say, look, I just want to put my toe in the water, I think over the next year, you're not going to get all the amazing authority backlinks, right? But you'll get 3 press releases. It comes out to $30. So what an amazing offer for each one of us to take advantage and leverage the power of reputation in our marketplace. But not just reputation, but also to build authority, to build rankings. There's so many amazing strategies, and one of the things I love about Chris is he's such an authority in the marketplace. His training is incredible. So if you like what I have, you're going to love what Chris has as well. And let me tell you, Jay, you've done an amazing job just really laying it out. And what I love is that you're really not an internet marketer or product creator by trade. You're just like I am and just like Chris is, where we started doing all these things ourselves and having so much success that we want to help others have the same success that we are. So again, just amazing stuff. So I want to, you probably have a lot of new questions coming in the chat box, so I'll let you guys go. So if you, by the way, the questions coming in, so what happens if we want more? If you want more, right, they're going to have, you've got press releases you can buy
I'll
if you want
explain
more.
this, David. If they want to jump in and get more, so I've answered this for a lot of people in the chat box. A lot of people are asking this question. So what you see on screen and what you see when you go to the checkout page is a one-time fee. And so you'll get, say, if you buy the 495 package, then you get 20 press releases. And it's just so incredibly cheap. It's over 90% off the price of what PR Web charges, and you've got a load of extra in there. You've got the writing software, and you've got increased distribution as well. Now, when those credits run out, you would normally have to pay our normal price, which is around 5 times as much. But you can optionally, and it's completely optional, you can optionally subscribe to lock in this price should you want to. So it's optional. The price is on the screen, that one-time fee. Afterwards, you can optionally subscribe to lock in the low price should you want to.
Brilliant.
Okay, and I've got a really special announcement as well. Sorry to cut you off, David. I just want to fit this in because it's absolutely incredible. We've just literally launched this in the past few days, so it's not even on our sales page right now. For the 495 package, we're going to throw in an extra 6 press releases which we'll write for you. So we will write 6 press releases for you for the 495 package, and for the 295 package, we'll write 3 press releases for you. And on the 95, unfortunately, we just can't do it.
I was not expecting that. I want you to put in the chat box really quick, if you know at a minimum what the cost of someone writing a press release is. What would be the cost of someone writing a press release? What do you think? So put in the chat box, based on what you know of the industry, what do you think? Just everybody, okay? So I got 250, right? 97, 150 for a good writer, right? So when you think about 6, you're talking about the entire cost of that $495. You're getting 6 press releases done for you, which is incredible. And the $295, you're getting 3 done. So that is probably one of the most irresistible offers I've ever seen. Chris, thank you so much, and Jay, thank you so much for going over and above to really help people, because I think that's a little bit of
I can say, a few people have been asking in the chat box, how do we compare to X press release service? I can guarantee you, for the price, you will not find anywhere that has the level of distribution that we do for the same price. And you've got the writing software, and we're throwing in several written press releases as well, depending what package you get. So there's absolutely nowhere that this price can be beaten. And regardless of the price, this is one of the best distributions you can buy online anyway. So at our full price of $159 per press release, we're still really, really competitive against all those press release companies out there, which is why we've been growing so quickly. And so the deal today, which we put together for David's subscribers and customers, is absolutely insane. I cannot stress this enough.
Yeah, I agree with you. We've done other reputation systems, and we've seen other press and there's nothing like this that I've seen at this type of price point, especially with the huge bonus that you put in. For those of you thinking about, hey, I've seen the question a few times, what about locking it in long term? I think that's a great opportunity. But here's the thing: right now, I want you focused on this week and this month, and getting focused on making money and taking action. And so a few months down the road, that'll take care of itself. You can call Chris up, his team up. You can say, hey, I'd like to get more. They will help you do that. But right now, take advantage of this offer that's right in front of you. It's an amazing offer. Chris, can you we do a lot of video marketing, as you know. So can you put videos in the press releases?
Yeah, you can. So you can link to any YouTube video or any video out there. And when you link to a YouTube video, the sites which allow embedding will then turn that into the embed code. So it depends on the site which publishes whether they will embed the video or whether they will just link to it.
And then how much training do you do regarding local to really help people? Because we have a 99% local customer base, to really help them with how to maybe get their foot in the door or how to have a conversation with the customer. Do you have any type of resources that would help them in the back office?
Yeah, so we have a section in there. There's an hour video on how to approach local businesses and what to say. And you can use this in a few ways. One of the great ways which you can use it is because these press releases are so cheap, you literally just do a press release, and then you have front page rankings, and you have this authority news exposure, and you literally walk through the door with the printed press release, say from, ABC 12, they see the logo, they see their business name, and then you show them the rankings. It's just, it's a great way to get a business's attention.
And then
so
what type of, is there reporting at all that, how does someone get information about what was listed and what was not listed?
So we give you a report showing every single place that the press release has been published that we've been able to find. And it's typically, 150 or 200 plus sites. And you have that in a CSV file as well. So you can literally take that list of links of all the hundreds of places which have published the article, and then if you want to do something else with that, say send it to a client or build some links to it or use it in some other way, then you can do as well.
So you have full accountability. So it's amazing that you can send a press release out, have a full accountability wherever it's been listed on, and then you have a spreadsheet of every place that it's been. So when you're working with your customers, it's a powerful strategy to say, look, this is all the hard work we've done for you, and you're getting it literally 90% of what the entire market can actually get it for. So absolutely amazing. So I want to just know who's in. So who are my action takers? Say, look, I want to take reputation marketing to a whole new level with my business. I think, I want to get it one of these levels here. So just put I'm in the chat box. I'm in, purchase at $295. I'm in, awesome. I already bought 5 minutes ago, the ultimate. Awesome, I'm in, awesome. If you could screenshot that just for a moment there. Just so many amazing action takers, Larry Batten and Ann and Thomas and Frank and Mark Brown, Ann, I see you, Brenda. Dan, listen, you're not alone in there. This is an amazing offer. And the worst case scenario, you've got $95 where you can get 3 press releases. More importantly, what about doing a press release on yourself? What about getting more authority, more opportunity for yourself? Use one of those, use it for yourself, get the message out there, and then you'll be able to experience the awesome interaction. How could you ever do that for less than $95? So, my goodness, Chris, you've just done an amazing job. And one thing I love about Chris is, there's a lot of companies out there that do white labels and they do, kind of connections and API. Chris has done an amazing job. He has built this entire platform, so there is not a better expert in the world that you could be hitching to than Chris and his team to knowing exactly how to help you take it to the next level. So, Chris, again, thank you so much. We have a whole bunch of other questions in here coming in.
Yeah, David, sorry, can I just jump in real quick? I've just been looking to in the chat box there. Now, first of all, you can see that a few of the people here, the snapshot that I got that I've bought and that are in, which is fantastic to see. We've got many questions about local business. Now, I talked about a client that I'd closed in the UK quite recently. And I just want to show that example, in terms of how easy it is to get these local businesses ranked and the sort of power of what we're doing here and how it applies to them. So this is for a physio in Slough. Now Slough is it's about, I'd say, what, 15, 20 miles from central London. It's like a golfing area. So there's a lot of golf injuries there and all this kind of stuff. And we actually targeted a physio. Okay, so you can see physio. I don't know if you have that in the States, right? You've got like a similar to an osteopath. Almost, so somebody who helps you get back from sports injury. So we've got a physio, and the company is called Physio Dynamics, and you can see them right here in the local listings. They're actually third. Okay, the third in local listings. When we first started out with these guys, they obviously they hired us for a reason. They were nowhere to be seen on the first page of Google. Their actual website was pretty new. So, and just like Chris mentioned there, the way we close these guys, and you can really use press releases before they hire you, is just to do the press release, go in there, have the front page rankings, and say, hey, boom, I've got the rankings here. Because the biggest issue, and I'm sure a lot of you have faced this with local clients, is offering, is giving value before you've even done business with them, right? Because many people promise value. They're like, hire me, and I'll do this, and I'll do that, right? So the fact is, you've got Physio Dynamics. We went in there, and it was like, hey, I've already got you ranked. And they were like, right, okay, that's fantastic. They haven't managed to be on the front page of Google, been struggling with it. And there we were with their name in shining lights, if you like, before we've even done business with them. So they signed up, and that was obviously with the press release, but their organic listing after 3-4 months of us putting out press releases, getting those fresh authority backlinks coming in, getting those citations coming in, we managed to get them and boost them up to the third page. Sorry, the third spot on the first page here. As you can see, this is physiodynamics right here. So you can see the power of what we're doing here, and how how impactful it can be. And this was in the space of only 3 to 4 months, as I said. But what's interesting is this is just, we actually managed to get it on normal as well. The regular Google results right here, they're almost one spot off the top. They're actually a bit further down quite recently. So you can see the more releases that we're doing for them, the higher they're rising in terms of their organic listing. So the interesting thing with this is you're probably wondering, how do the press releases and news releases fit in? Well, when we first started, we were putting out content like, for example, if you typed in wrist strain Slough, I already talked about them being a big golfing town. So wrist strain is going to be a huge thing in Slough, right? Well, there we go. We're right at the top of this particular page with a press release that was put out, last summer. And that was one of the press releases that's got the authority links in there and the citations. Okay, that's the PR right there. Okay, that's one of them that helped us get their organic listing up. If you type in golf injury Slough, okay, you could charge premium for golf injury as well. So the client was very happy. And you can see again, not only are this listing is for them as well. This is a separate press release done on the 7th of December. This was done on the 19th of June. So 2 separate press releases targeting the same client. Okay, so you can see we've only been, this is in June and December. For these guys, we were doing 1 press release per month for 3 to 4 months before they were landing on the first page of Google. All right, and I'll show you just one more. For example, we've got golf injury, let's say back, or let's say something like sciatica, completely different. Pain Slough. You can see these are relatively competitive terms, right? You've got the locality right there. We're all in local. Most of us are. We understand that this is very competitive. So you've got sciatica, pain, Slough. 3 words, competitive, and back. We're right at the top of the page right here with that press release. And this one was done in May. So you can see the accumulative effect of doing these press releases and getting those backlinks, really accumulating them as well as the citations. But the other question, what's interesting is if I click on this particular page, Marketers is an authority news site. So you've actually got fresh backlinks coming in from an authority source. These aren't junky sites, right? I'm talking about, they're not junky sites that have just been created for the sake of it. This is all white hat. This is beautiful stuff. This is authority links from a massively respected news site right here. Okay, and we've got the links that come back as a result. So the question I've got is, when it comes to reputation, okay, so we've got Marketers Media, but if you've got the likes of CNN, Fox News, ABC, if you can get your client associated with those types of brands, would you be able to sell more? Would you be able to sell more if you can associate your client with huge authority brands by boosting their reputation? Of course you can, right? Because that's exactly what it's doing. So you can see, we've got many factors that help, we've got many different facets in terms of the benefits of what we're doing here, but reputation management is definitely up there as well and gets a big boost. And we've got a few people agreeing with me there because that's our distribution, remember? I talked about that earlier. These are the authority news sites, the cool kids that we associate with. So that's very important to mention. Sorry, David, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I did see that question, and I thought I'd jump in and answer that. So we'll look and see if we've got any more questions right here in the chat box. So let's have a look. So Thomas is saying, by subscription, do you mean the 495 package? I haven't seen any monthly. No, Thomas, you can only subscribe. If I go back into, if I open this link up here, you can only subscribe for the 295. Okay, so if I go back, let's actually change the page here. So you can only subscribe for the $295 press release. Okay, so if you want if you want 20 a month, which is perfectly, I can understand why you'd want to do that, because you want to be pumping out as much content as possible and bringing on new clients, then you can actually subscribe for the 295 twice. There's an option to do that. No problem at all. And if you have any problems with that, you can jump in and email us at support@presscable.com, and we'll make sure that we get that fixed for you. But there's no reason why you can't do that in the members area as an option. So you can have a double subscription for the 295 right there, which many people do. We've got some people on 2 and even 3, as they're just really throwing those press releases out there and bringing in more clients. Okay. All right. So I think we've answered most questions here. David, if you see any, do you want to jump in if there's anything that I've missed? I'm just going through these right now. But yeah, I mean,
So you did a whole bunch of them, and I think it's been a fantastic training. So the bottom line for everybody is that is taking your reputation business to a completely different level and adding new services important, so that every single 90 days that goes by, you're upselling that customer. The goal of every single one of us isn't to have residual income of $395 a month or $695 a month. It's to have a $1,500 customer that's going to pay us $1,500 month in and month out. And so when you say, look, we're going to be able to create a press release on you every single month, you can offer that as a service. You can create the press releases. There's unbelievable amounts of templates they have for you to create all 4.5-star reputation online. There's so many amazing events that you can get out in the marketplace regarding press releases. So please take advantage of this offer. It's really one of the most amazing offers I've seen, especially in the reputation space. And so I just want to, if there's any last questions here, I want to, Chris, did you have any specific points or any questions you wanted to talk about?
Just to reiterate, a few people are asking about the bonus that I mentioned that we're throwing in. So, Jay, if you just want to bring up the sales page on your screen again.
Yep, sure thing. There you go.
Very much, yeah. So on those two packages you see up there on screen, the 495 and the 295, I'm doing something which we haven't done before. And what that is, on the ultimate package at 495, in addition to everything you see there, we're throwing in an additional 6 press releases that our team of professional writers will write for you. You just literally send us in a little bit of information, and then we'll write those press releases for you. And these guys are trained exceptionally well with keywords and knowing what to rank for, so they are able to get you very, very good results. And so on the Ultimate 495 package, that's 6 extra done-for-you press releases for free, and in the standard one, an additional 3 done-for-you written press releases. Okay, and in the 95 package, unfortunately, we just can't do it because it's already way, way too discounted. Okay, so there's been a lot of questions in the chat box. If we haven't answered your question yet, please type it in again. Sorry about that. We've just had literally hundreds of questions in 10 minutes. And between the 3 of us which are here in the chat box trying to answer, we literally can't keep up with them. So feel free just to type that in again, and we'll jump in and try and answer your question. And so I'll just jump back in the chat and keep on doing that because they're all flooding in again.
Okay, let's have a look, see if there's any more coming in. So we've got how to, so Glory said, if you're still not clear about how to get the subscription, I'm going to go over that super quickly one last time. So, and this is for Glory and other people asking about the subscription. Let me just talk you through it. Very easy. All you do is you pick your package and then you check out. Once you've checked, you go through and then you're in the members area. Okay, you jump into that and it will give you an option for the subscription. So it's super easy to do. You jump in, you go into the members area once you've purchased, okay, and then you can choose the option to subscribe. I hope that's pretty clear for those of you. It's very, very easy. You purchase, check out, go into the members area, and you'll have, by the way, you'll have 7 days by which to subscribe, okay, to your chosen package. So that will be for you to do right there, okay. And as I mentioned, well, actually, no, Chris mentioned earlier, you know, people are asking about other press release sort of offers and things they might have seen. Like, you will not get the quality, the distribution, the writing software, you know, the value, as I mentioned, the pricing, all of that put together. You simply will not see a better offer than this anywhere. Okay, and that's our guarantee. It just simply doesn't exist. And this is why, you know, we are the fastest growing press release company in the world. You know, you don't get to that level without sort of offering real value and doing it for a good price, as well as giving people what they need to succeed. So we're obviously doing that. We've been doing that for for a long time, and therefore, customers are absolutely flocking to us. So this is the reason why that's happening. So that's fine. I mean, I think we're going to be shutting down fairly soon. I know that we've been on the call for quite a while now, so it's been fantastic. It's almost been 2 hours, I think. So we've been doing a lot of talking, going through a lot of stuff, and we've still got questions coming in. So I'm just having a look to see. Thomas is saying, "I'm in." Fantastic, Thomas. Welcome to the PressCable family. It's great to have you on board, and we'll no doubt look forward to your success very, very soon. So yeah, I mean, I think we're pretty much ready to shut down. If there's any final questions to come in, if you want to put those into the chat box real quick. So let's have a look.
What we can do is we can put the link to support or the email to support in the chat box and just write those down. If you have any further questions, they've got an amazing team. You can see they've already brought their team on. And so I just want to personally thank Jay and Chris here, and also Evelyn and Alex, those who have been on answering questions. You guys done an amazing job. And by the way, could you just, if you enjoyed the training and just got, the worst case scenario, got some amazing insights, best case scenario, you got the opportunity that you never thought was possible. Could you just give a little feedback on the way, what you thought about the webinar for everybody? Right, so, okay, good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Awesome stuff. Incredible. Tremendous, wonderful, great webinar. Great case studies, great webinar, love it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Stacy. Awesome. Always happy to hang out too. So listen, I want you to go to yesitsforme.com/David. Take advantage of this offer. The worst case scenario, grab 3 if you can use it for the full year. I even heard somebody say, look, I've got press release credits from a year ago. Their thing is, their strategy and software is awesome. So it's just an incredible offer. So again, thank you, Chris. Thank you so much, Jay. Any last tidbits we need before we close it down?
That's it. I mean, like I said, the best value you'll get in terms of what we're offering. You won't see this price anywhere else, and you need to get in now in order to get the best deal and jump on your road to success in terms of online. When it comes to reputation, when it comes to traffic and rankings, there's not a better offer out there. So thank you very much again, David, and thank you everybody, for allowing us to serve you in this way and present you with this offer. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Jay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks everyone. If you've still got questions and we weren't able to answer them, please email us at support@presscable.com and we will do our best to answer them as soon as possible. It's been a little bit crazy judging by the chat box so far. I think we got most of them answered, but if not, just head on over to support@presscable.com if you have any other questions. And of course, the sooner you get in this offer, the better the price is going to be. So thank you very much, David. Been an absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you very much, Jay. It was an awesome presentation, and this has been an absolutely amazing audience. Brilliant questions, really smart guys, and just amazing to see so many people jump in on this. So look forward to seeing you on the inside. Thanks, David. Thanks, Jay, and thanks, everyone.
All right, bye-bye. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.